Pleiadian Master Teachings, Concepts from the Realms of Light. Channeled by Michael Love. Sacred Light Publishing. December 25, 2022. Chapter 4. Sound. In the beginning, the primordial sound manifested itself as all creation. It is the Logos, the eternal and unchanging truth. The liberating sound spoken from the stillness that reconciles the human with the divine. And Quat, the Pleiadians, the rishis of ancient Vedic tradition, believed that man was made of sound and light. They believed that the vibrations released by certain types of sound opened dimensional doors to higher consciousness, causing a powerful spiritual shift in an individual's life. Sound is a primary aspect of vibratory consciousness and is fundamental to the universal creation process. Sound waves organize themselves into complex, uniform geometric patterns that form the platonic solids of all created matter. The science of cymatics illustrates how sound waves vibrating at different frequencies create the sacred geometry and framework of the material world. All living beings are receptive to and inclined to reverberate with resonating sound tones. Furthermore, since a state of consciousness falls within a specific frequency range, one can alter their consciousness by tuning it to the vibration of a sound. Sound waves such as harmonious music, words, chants, tones, mantras, and prayers are very effective tools for increasing one's internal vibration and inducing a state of balance and harmony in the mind and body. Sound has a direct effect on the internal process of ascension. When a DNA strand is exposed to high vibrational sound frequencies, it starts resonating much like a tuning fork and will match the frequency of the sound. When any of the 12 primary DNA strands is resonating at its peak resonance, it moves into an active state, and the strand reconnects to its corresponding chakra port. As discussed in our DNA chapter, when a DNA strand becomes active and reconnects to its chakra port, it performs much like a crystalline fiber optic cable where pure universal light begins flowing through the strand and moves through every cell of the body. This influx of high vibrational light flowing through the body excites a cell's subatomic particles, causing them to move into a high spin state. The body becomes more energy than matter at this point, activating the crystalline light body of the ascension. Many cultures throughout the ages have practiced sound healing therapy, and in today's modern world, sound therapy is fast becoming an accepted form of healing for the mind and body. The auric energy field, the Merkaba that surrounds the physical body, can be disrupted and knocked out of kilter by stress. Sound wave therapy can instantly realign this geometric field of life to its optimal state. Since this etheric body is where all healing begins, all body systems begin functioning at optimal levels when it is balanced harmonically with sound, back to the natural state. The ancient, advanced civilizations of Earth understood the power of sound. They knew the harmonics and geometry of sound produced a state of negative mass which has an anti-gravity effect on matter. These ancient masters not only used sound waves to levitate and move 100-ton megalithic stones, but also knew that certain frequencies affect natural phenomena and could unlock dimensional gates. These spiritual masters of sound could perform all sorts of what would be called magic today. The emerald tablets passed down from Great Atlantis are a prime example of this and list specific words, tones, chants, and mantras that give one supernatural ability. The ancient Hindus teach that every word and syllable of the sacred Veda texts are literal divine words of power, and as they are uttered, the laws of nature are affected. These sacred power words profoundly affect one's state of consciousness. The Hathors of ancient Egypt, a group of female priestesses, descendants from ancient Lemuria, known as the Seven Sisters of the Pleiades, were master healers in the grand crystal temples of those days. The primary method of healing used by these priestesses was sound vibrations. Atlantean and Egyptian temple healings involved chanting, toning, breathwork, and high-tech, vibrating sound instruments. In Chapter 12, we teach about the subconscious mind or right brain, which is directly connected to universal superconsciousness. One of the few ways to gain programming access to this supermind is by merging it with the left brain, creating whole brain coherence. Whole brain coherence can be achieved in minutes using particular sound tones called binaural beats. There are many wonderful frequencies of sound and music. However, it just so happens that 40 Hz gamma frequency tones have a magical quality. 40 Hz gamma sound resonates with and is the sound of the fifth dimension. This 40 Hz fifth dimensional sound produces optimal human learning ability, improved memory, verbal recall, and reaction time. The fastest way to raise one's vibration is to listen to high vibrational music. In Quad, the Pleiadians, music was never invented or discovered by anyone, at any point, in the known history of the universe. It has simply just been there the whole time as a creative aspect of universal expression. Nevertheless, certain tones, patterns in different types of music, and certain repetitive rhythms can be very attractive to our vibrational bodies. Something magical happens inside when one sits back with a powerful and high-vibe piece of music in their headset. We challenge you to give it a try and take notice of how you begin to feel. After some repetitive listening to high-vibe music that moves the soul, one will feel this positive resonance in the very cells of their body. At that moment, one will automatically increase their spiritual strength and physical immunity by default. When the body is exposed to high vibrational music, DNA activates, opening the body's energy channels and allowing in higher energies. These higher energies trigger the release of dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins into the bloodstream, producing powerful emotions of awe and bliss. These wondrous feelings are the amazing effect of divine sound flowing through the central nervous system. Furthermore, one has an emotional layer in the layered body system. When the right vibe is present, this body activates. Emotions connect one to the non-physical body, which gives direct access to source energy. When one feels deep positive emotions, they are connected directly to higher consciousness and are in the God state. Many beings in the third dimensional matrix are taught not to feel or express their emotions, but we say you must feel them fully to become the ascended master. Listening to certain drumming and beat sessions will also create elevated states of consciousness. After exposure to steady rhythmic beats, just like a tuning fork, the body begins to vibrate to match the beat of the music. Be selective when choosing drum and beat music. Ensure the rhythm feels good. Ancient musical styles have a stronger effect on one's state of consciousness because the cellular memory of those ancient times is triggered and unlocked by this type of music. This ancient musical style was performed in grand crystal temples of Earth's past, and if it seems very attractive and familiar to you, it's because, in those days, you played, listened to, and danced to this exotic form of music. So, how does one know if a piece of music is high vibe music? First, ask yourself, how does it make you feel? Does it move your soul? Does it make you want to move physically and dance? Can you listen to it repeatedly in a loop and not grow tired of it? If you answered yes to these questions, it is high vibe music. Lastly, ask yourself, what kind of music turns you on? And that's the best starting place. Someone asked, is rock and roll okay for a spiritual person? The Pleiadian answer is, yes, of course, it is. And quote. The musicians that create awesome songs, including rock and roll, are doing it from a higher state of creative consciousness. It is irrelevant to the style or the genre of music as long as it elevates one's being. Good headphones are a must. Make sure you have enough volume and that you can feel a super bass and drum beat. We suggest that you begin searching for this high vibe music, and in these modern times, you can easily create a super vibe playlist that can elevate you at any time. Then, when your super vibe playlist is ready, play it in your headset, crank it up, and start ascending. Vocal singing is a form of sound vibration where one produces musical tones with the voice. Singing is simply uttering words in musical tones and with musical inflections and modulations. The human being is divinely equipped to create musical tones vocally, which in turn not only stimulates one's DNA but also stimulates the DNA of other living beings, raising their vibrational level. As part of the divine plan of sound, humans can combine vocal singing with unlimited musical instrument tones to create epic masterpieces of sound and resonance. Did you know a being that could not sing so well in the third dimension but who now has an open throat chakra will be able to sing in a beautiful and perfected way? Lastly and most importantly is the power of language and the spoken word. Spoken words are the fuel that drives all of creation. As one will see in our manifesting chapter, thinking of things and words is the beginning level of manifestation. However, decreeing a thing intently and with power by the spoken word guarantees manifestation. A thing that is decreed is so. And quote. The Pleiadians, one will get to the point where they can decree, let there be light, and it shall be so. The awesome power of words must be clearly understood for one to progress along their spiritual journey. Science has shown a direct correlation between DNA and language. The spoken word can edit the genetic code directly. The ancients knew that words are a literal form of magic and that when one speaks, they cast a spell, which is the meaning and function behind the word spelling. And apos. Of course, the universal law behind this magic scientifically explains that words are forms of geometric sound energy that manifest as the material world. The phonetic sound of the words is a very important part of their power, but the energy and intent behind the words are even more important. Certain words and the intent behind them can be used to bless, and words can be used negatively to create what might be called cursing words. Therefore, it is critical in one's expansion of conscious awareness to take careful notice of the words one speaks each day. This applies to words spoken over others and the words one speaks over themselves. Positive affirmations are among the most powerful energy tools for quickly improving one's state of being and manifesting the desired reality. We discuss affirmations in our manifesting chapter. At this time on Earth, humanity is moving from third to fifth dimensional reality. Every dimension has a corresponding and resonating chakra portal that allows access to that dimension. The fifth chakra, the throat chakra, is the key focal point for modern planet Earth because this chakra portal is the doorway into the fifth dimension. Before a being becomes enlightened, they live in a lower state of unconsciousness. In this state, one lives in an illusion, held in the lower world by their level of truth. One is in the dark at that stage with no information, and no light of truth is shining on them. Regarding sound and speaking, Since one's throat was energetically closed in the lower state of consciousness, one had difficulty speaking and living their inner truth, often just going along with everyone else's truths. After experiencing several life-changing events, one finally begins to stir awake, moving up through the 7 layers of the 4th dimension. They have opened all their lower energy chakras, including an expanded new heart, and they are ready to enter the kingdom of heaven. The next chakra doorway one must open on the ascension ladder is number 5, the throat chakra. As a spiritual being, one realizes the importance and power of an open heart chakra. However, one must consider that the throat chakra is one level above the heart and resonates higher than the heart. While awakening occurs in many subtle levels through each dimension, one of the most profound levels occurs as one arrives at the 5th dimension. This is when a spiritual being finally grows up. It is when they reach their first level of maturity. It is when the higher wisdom comes. It is when great power comes. It's when things start going right for the first time. It is when one becomes the master. What is the cause behind this profound change and mastery? The 5th chakra, the throat chakra, is the chakra of truth. When one opens this doorway to the 5th dimension and 5th dimensional light starts rushing into the light body, one begins to speak their inner truth for the first time. As one goes forth decreeing this truth, they begin living their truth. One then becomes the truth, and they can say, I am the truth. The truth is the light, and as one moves forward on their journey, they become the light that walks among humanity in this world. Finally, at the peak of their spiritual journey, they speak about the kingdom of light and begin demonstrating this 5th dimensional kingdom before humanity. One then becomes the way to the kingdom of light and to God for all others to follow. You are the way, the truth, and the light for all humanity. The Pleiadians. Author's information and book purchasing links to online bookstores and PDF purchase, available for immediate downloading. www.sacredlightpublishing.com/books. Amazon, Barnes & Nobles. More information from author. Website, www.5dearthproject.com. Facebook, Michael Love. YouTube channel, @Pleiadian Light Forces.